You've led and shaped security teams at organizations spanning from Novi to the Libra project to Circle, where you were instrumental in maturing security practices in fast-paced fintech environments. What have been your biggest lessons about building security cultures that balance strong risk management with rapid product velocity?
That's an excellent question. I think the biggest focus needs to be on you need to be a business value add versus a business value subtractor, right? So when you think about like security, risk management, compliance, or all the additional traditional second line functions, historically everyone was looking at it as, oh my God, they're the quote unquote police with a bit negative connotation associated with it. But if you're focusing on, hey, how are you that business differentiator where you're enabling everyone to find an unlock where now something is possible because security came up with an idea or compliance came up with an idea that is not only creative and problem solving, an unlock to actually deliver something, but it actually helps you become an advisor, have a very strong seat at the table with the product teams, with product leadership teams, and engineering teams to really dive in and build the right thing from the get-go. Because if you really approach it from the lens of like, well, this is the box we need to check, especially in a fast-paced moving environment like crypto, it's not going to happen. There's no box that you can design that really works in this environment. You need to be very, very creative. So sitting there, being that advisor, and being that creative person that helps them find those unlocks that add business value, not subtracts business value is what is going to really drive a good, strong culture of security and risk management as well.
At points in your security leadership career, you focused on both product security and cloud security across blockchain integrated systems. How do you decide where you can automate risk analysis versus where you still do really need human expertise?
So I have a personal philosophy on this. That is, if you're not automating yourself out of your own job, you're focusing on absolutely the wrong thing. Your role needs to be primarily to automate yourself, your daily tasks that you're doing that are primarily mundane, not as necessarily as amazing to work on, but they're still very, very important and critical to the business. You should be focused on automating those, especially in today's world with AI, with agentic AI, and those particular capabilities. A lot of these repetitive tasks, a lot of these items can be done to a degree where you can be more of an observer to those events happening, to those assessments happening and unfolding, because this allows everyone within the team to focus more on the shiny, the new, the more exciting problems that everybody chases, right? Everybody has that some percentile of work that they don't like, will automate it. And that is the biggest thing that you could be really focusing on.
You've spoken about how privacy and security are deeply intertwined and foundational for user trust. With today's shift towards more composable and programmable financial infrastructure, what are some of the under-recognized areas where privacy and security coverage, especially for developers, are building on decentralized rails?
So what I would say on this one is don't lose the focus on how deeply intertwined the two in reality is, because it's actually really easy to look at it only on the base layers. You start composing on top of it, and you miss either the privacy element or the security element of it. If it's going to be something truly that core that you want to be building on it, you need to have both very clearly stated as principles and non-negotiables that you're building with and really driving towards that singular mission. So don't lose that sight, that line of sight towards these very, very intertwined systems.
And looking back on when you helped scale security at Circle, what were some of the turning points where advanced tooling or process changes meaningfully shifted outcomes? And what advice would you give teams today who are trying to reach that same next level of security maturity?
So the reality of this is in my view simple. Be practical. You can design a perfectly secure system, or let me put it a little bit different. There's no perfect security. Like if you really want perfect security, just turn it off, go home, wrap it up. It's all done and dusted. Perfect security doesn't exist. There's always going to be something that you will need to compromise on. So if you're really focusing on, okay, what is practical? How are you becoming that business enabler, that advisor, that trusted person that can help find an unlock overall, it helps you meaningfully get to the outcomes both on the business side but also on the security side to mature to that level where it makes sense for the stage of the company that you're in. The security posture for a Series A company and the things that they need to go and implement is very, very different than for a Fortune 100. Also depends on the line of business that you're in, also depends on the regulatory regime that you're under, but they're very, very different scale of problems and the attackers that you're looking at, etc. So be practical for the stage that you're in, be practical for the real threats that you're going to be facing, keeping an eye on, of course, the future of like where you're going to need to move towards is important, but don't focus on the thing that is going to be 10 years away and is such a low probability of actually occurring and it's so expensive to implement that it's like everyone's going to be like, well, it's unreasonable for us to focus on this.
And the final course. So now's your opportunity to share with us your security hot take, what you think, yeah, most people are still getting wrong in security, particularly in the digital asset space.
This is a fun one. I was actually looking forward to talking a little bit about this one. Um, Fundamentally underestimating the human layer as a security and defense layer. We as humans are very much prone to making mistakes. Even the most sophisticated people, even the people that are like so aware of what they're doing, how they're doing, they will eventually do a slip up because they get tired, they go to a party, they came off of a flight, they're jet lagged. Something does happen and people make mistakes. It's within our nature. So assuming that, hey, like just because I have like 10 million layers of security defense, I have the shiniest NPC wallet, etc., is going to protect you, and all of those layers are going to protect you from literally everything is a false sense of security because at the end of the day, there's still a singular human making the decision, people are going to come after that singular human. That's one element of it. The second element of it is the dangerous convenience habits that are so hard to break away from. Like SMS-based 2FA, it's so easy. It's just my number. It just works. But SIM swapping is an issue. And there are some other issues there overall that are like very easy to manipulate social engineering into overall this. So what I would say is in many cases, the boring, easy, more well-defined hygiene security things actually get you way further than you think. So don't chase the shiny objects. Go for the boring ones, especially where it matters. And those ones are truly tested.